Welcome, everybody, to the Samwise Yaboinski Story Pod. I am so glad that you're listening and so glad to be again with Nate and with Sam. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, Chris?
I'm doing all right. I'm hungry for some story. And I believe Nate has the story.
The story is called Big Plans. Today is here. I will not fear the trials that wait ahead. For I have great plans. Yes, I will change this world. So I will not stay in my bed. Here's what I got. Let me know what you think. These plans are so big, I doubt they can shrink. First, I plan to make everything free. Yes, free. Wait, what's that you say? An economy. What's an economy? Oh. Well, I also plan to make everyone feel loved and safe. And I plan to give every person a hug. Wait, what's that now? How many people are there? 7 billion point five? Oh, and I have 100 years to be alive. So that would one, two, never mind. Well, I plan to start a restaurant that will feed those in need. And yes, I'd serve my favorite peanut butter and cheese. What? What now? Allergies to peanuts and cheese? Oh, geez. Well, it looks like I have some more thinking to do. The mind's a great thinking pot where ideas must stew. Until they are hot and ready to serve, I think I'll go play with the new kid. He looks shy and lonely. Wait, what's his name? Irv?
That's so good. I really like that.
Yeah, just the end.
So good.
Irv? I met a kid named Irv, and it just had to make it into a poem at some point.
Oh,
It was one of those poems where you get. I remember waking up. Maybe it was right before the pandemic, and just feeling like I could conquer the world. But by the end of the day, I remember running into so many problems. I just felt so just discouraged, And I think that can happen often because we want to do good. We want to see people in our lives happy. We want others to be happy, and we have these ideas and we want to apply them. And sometimes it just doesn't work out. And so with the poem, it was just kind of representing that feeling, but also realizing that even though we have these great big ideas, we could also just kind of take that small step in doing the one thing we know is right. And so not giving up on the dreams, right? Even if someone says no, interrupts, and they give their 2 cents, maybe those bigger ideas sometimes need to stew, but doing the right, making that right decision of connecting with someone, or apologizing, or asking someone over, or making sure someone's fed, just one person is like that right thing to do is sometimes the best thing to do when you feel like it's time to conquer the world.
Yeah, you can always be good to one person.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, so I always cherish the details and the peanut butter and cheese.
Yeah.
And what? People are allergic to both those things? Like that's fantastic. And I think two things about those. So I love my sons, especially my sons, Ben and Jack are budding cooks in very different ways. Jack is a sort of a budding foodie and has learned he makes sushi himself. Like he's like actually really creates some delicious stuff. And Ben is as a tinkerer in the kitchen, and so Ben is the kind of guy who would be like, maybe peanut butter and cheese, or he would be like, maybe peanut butter and cheese milkshake if I mush it all up and add some. So I really,
oh my god,
add yogurt to it. It'll work.
It's pretty shocking. It's pretty shocking what he comes up with. But I even more so love what you're saying about early on in the pandemic. There's that song in Frozen 2, The Next Right Thing.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And I love that because, like you're saying in the poem, there's like a million things that we can do, should do, need to do, a million ways that we're falling short, a million ways that the world is just shattered and broken. But there's always this next right thing, this small piece that we can do together. And I think it was Dorothy Day, somebody really wise back in the day, said basically that the purpose of the church is to make it easier for people to do good.
Mm.
you know?
I love
So we
that.
create channels so that people can do good. And so we, our social action committee chooses these areas. Like right now, we're working to support this Afghan family that just came, and so there's a bunch of things we can do to help this one family. And, we work for climate justice, and there's the 40 for the Earth coming up, and we pick a couple things to do. And that feels like there's traction there in a moment that can otherwise feel pretty slippery. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love that.
For sure. And also, I was just going to say real quick, like my daughter is wanting to be like a really big LGBTQIA plus ally, and
Mm.
we've been talking about ways that we can be active as a family. But what I see is the most active she is when she speaks up for a friend at school that's getting bullied for their sexual, identity and
Mm.
orientation and things like that. And that makes me so proud as we've had the conversations about what we can do as a family to help a lot of nonprofits and the community itself. But my daughter's actions is just one person in a small situation at school. I think it's a big situation, but making that small action is what really moves me, and I think really helps her become a better ally, right? And
Mm.
so
Yeah.
it kind of reflects what we see in that
Oh, I'm
story
glad
too.
she's doing that. That's good.
As we do, we have an opportunity for questions from everyone. So please email me questions anytime for us. You can email minister@uubelmont.org. And yeah, so actually, sort of keeping with the theme of today's story, I wonder if we could each sort of share one small step that we've sort of taken, one action that's felt particularly meaningful or impactful in this last phase of the pandemic, this last year or so.
My neighbor, my elderly neighbor, her husband just passed, and I've been speaking to my wife a lot about being part of a community that focuses on the elderly and being involved during the pandemic and all of this kind of things of just being in nursing homes and trying to find different ways of serving that community and that demographic. But I realized I have someone next door that needs that help, and
Mm.
so like today for me it was snowing, and so making sure I go over there and making sure she has all the food she needs, as well as snow blowing her driveway and stuff like that, allows me to feel like I'm in that putting a step forward in the right direction, even though it's not going to the nursing home and doing things that I've these big plans I talked about. It's just one simple step, I think, towards that. And yeah.
Mm. So for me, last semester, I was teaching at my university, and I had a couple of students who were in their first year at university in college, and they were far away from home for the first time in their lives, and they were very homesick, and they were quite lonely, and they were finding it hard to make new friends, and they missed their families, and they were finding the work very difficult, and they were very overwhelmed, and they'd never been in a place like that before. And I was their teacher, but I made sure to spend some time with them. They would come and talk to me, and I would tell them, it's okay. This is hard. This is a very different environment. College is a very different environment from living at home with your parents, with your friends, and it's kind of scary. And hang in there, but know that you got someone like me who will listen to you, because I get it. It's really scary. And I think at the time they just needed somebody to kind of talk to them, who wasn't like official, who wasn't like a school principal or something, but could just listen to them. And that was just a little thing. But sometimes listening to people is really important. Sometimes it's good to just do the next right thing is to just listen to somebody who is confused or scared or lonely or homesick.
That's beautiful. I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
great. That's great. So wonderful to be together again. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll be sharing more stories real soon.